Hello, I'm back here with Conan Family Technology, and we are going to show you how to set up Classroom Sync, the add-on to move data between your student information system and your Google Classroom learning management system. So the interface for Google or for Classroom Sync rather is a Google Sheet, something that I expect many of you are already quite familiar with. So I've started with just a totally blank sheet. We'll call this the Classroom Sync test just to to set the stage here and keep track of it. But once you have the application installed, which you would have done in our previous video, then you can go to your extensions menu and see your Classroom Sync application. So all you've got in this menu is just a simple start button. So it'll take a moment to get set up the first time as it wakes up, initializes, and loads and spins for a minute or two there. And this will get a little bit faster after the first time. And then really what we're going to see on our home menu is three primary options. The first is going to be our setup, which is what we're going to cover right now and in some detail. And then our other options are going to be to work with our classes and to work with our grades. So the class menu will cover both our class syncing from the student information system to Google Classroom, as well as the roster syncing. And then grade sync will include assignments or coursework and grades or results. So starting off, we're going to jump into this configure sync menu. Now this is going to be the most technical part of your setup here. And if you aren't particularly technologically inclined, you may need some help from your administrator on this one. What you are going to need to do is get access to a OneRoster registered application, or what might be called a service account or an integration user. And then you're also going to need to know a couple of links, a couple of URLs related to the integration, the API of your specific student information system. So, for example, the school we've been working with uses Blackbaud, and the specific URL they have to request the token, essentially a temporary password, is that one. The actual service endpoint looks like this for them. So API skyblackbot.com. So it can look a little bit different between the two, but it is by the standard expected to end with this suffix or path in the link. So it should be IMS OneRoster. And then V1P1 is actually the version of OneRoster that's currently being supported. And then you will need the key and secret from your integration application. And so once you have provided all of those items here, you can click Save, and it will test the integration, confirm that it's able to connect using the credentials. And I see that it's able to connect for my domain. Hit OK, and that will then be saved. Do be aware that you cannot come back and take your password out of here. Once it's saved, it's stored securely in the back end, and so you won't be able to copy that back out. However, if you share this spreadsheet with someone else, again, they can't copy the password or the secret out, but they will be able to use the application, to use the integration. So so that should, I believe, be a helpful feature if you need to share this and collaborate and work with other people. However, also be aware that there could be a risk if you share it with somebody who should not have access to sync data to make changes, that they will have some permissions just by you sharing the spreadsheet itself. And you can see now, once we're back on the setup menu, configure sync now is gray, and our suggested next action in blue here is to start our class sync, which we'll cover in the next video.